I heard my aunt's laughter before I saw her face. Sharp, wet, cruel. "Poor Olivia," she said, loud enough for the dead to stir, still trying to act like she matters. My uncle added, "Her father died a crook with nothing." And my cousins, well, they whispered about my shoes, my tears, my bloodline. Even my mother stayed silent. That was the moment something inside me stopped begging to be understood and started calculating. Because they truly believed I was nothing, powerless, alone, just a daughter mourning a disgraced father. They didn't know the truth, not yet. The truth arrived in the form of 3 black SUVs, engines humming like restrained monsters. Men in tailored suits stepped out, forming a silent line. The tallest bowed his head. "Miss Olivia." His voice carried through the cemetery like a shift in weather. "The dawn is waiting." Gasps. Silence from people who'd never learned how to be quiet. And that, right there, is where they thought the story started. It didn't. The beginning was years before, long before my father's coffin, back when I still believed blood meant loyalty. Back then, my aunt used to braid my hair. My uncle bought me ice cream on Sundays. My cousins played tag with me in the yard. They pretended warmth. They wore kindness like jewelry, only when eyes watched. But I saw the real version of them the night my father collapsed at his desk. They didn't rush to help. They rushed to the safe, the files, the will. In their world, love was a currency, and they never spent it on me. So when their betrayal finally surfaced, it didn't come as a shock, just confirmation. The day I discovered what they'd done, it was raining. I was sorting my father's things when I found the forged documents. They'd stolen our assets, ruined his reputation, framed him as a fraud, and left him to die under the weight of fabricated shame. My hands shook, but my mind? Still sharp. They wanted a helpless girl. Instead, they created a strategist. Discovery and shift. I didn't confront them. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I observed. Uncle visiting a lawyer with a smug smile. Aunt browsing properties she planned to buy with what she stole. My cousins posting cryptic captions about finally getting what they deserve. Grief became fuel. Anger became direction. Pain became clarity. I spent nights digging through my father's encrypted drives, and buried beneath years of secrecy, I found something they never suspected. My father wasn't a crook. He was a silent partner in an empire, one powerful enough to never need headlines or applause. A syndicate that respected only 2 things, loyalty and blood. When I contacted them, they already knew my name. The plan. I didn't ask them to hurt my family. I asked for the truth, for records, for signatures, for undeniable proof. Justice, I said. They understood. Together, we built a quiet case, legally and otherwise. Every property my aunt purchased with stolen money, frozen. Every fraudulent file my uncle forged, exposed. Every smug picture my cousins posted, tracked to accounts funded by embezzled funds. Piece by piece, I dismantled the little kingdom they built on my father's grave. I made sure the downfall didn't hit them all at once. No, I let it unravel slowly, like a thread pulled from a cheap sweater. First came the letters from investigators, then the bank alerts, then the property seizures, then the calls that no one answered. By the time the authorities came knocking, they were already cracking. But I wasn't finished. The final blow required an audience. The funeral, the climax. So I let them mock me. Let them spit venom while I kept my eyes on the coffin. Let them believe they'd won. Then the SUVs arrived. My aunt staggered backward. My uncle dropped his cigarette. My cousins froze, eyes wide with animal fear. The men approached me, bowed, bowed, and stepped aside as another figure emerged. Not a gangster caricature, not a monster from their gossip, just a man who loved my father like a brother. "Olivia," he said, placing a hand on my shoulder, "your father's name has been cleared. His legacy is protected, and everything stolen from him will be returned, with interest." He didn't look at my family as he spoke. He didn't need to. Their expressions were enough. Shock, dread, the realization that the girl they dismissed had just become heir to something far greater than their tiny, bitter world. Aunt whispered, "What have you done?" I met her eyes for the first time, corrected a mistake. By sunset, they were escorted away for questioning. I didn't watch them go. I stood by my father's grave, the wind cold but clean. For the first time in years, my heartbeat felt steady. Not triumphant, not cruel, just right. "I kept your promise, Dad," I whispered. "No one will ever rewrite your story again." And as the last SUV disappeared behind the trees, I felt the weight lift. Not revenge, not victory, just justice. Quiet, final, exactly the way I wanted it.